Welcome to Incredible Tea. You're with your hostess, Cocoa Puffs. On another episode of Surviving P. Diddy, we have a music producer and videographer, Rodney Little Rod Jones, who accuses P. Diddy of harassment, SA, and he claims that P. Diddy ran off with his bag. Now, Mr. Jones, in his complaint, does mention Young Miami, Cuba Gooding Jr., Meek Mills, Usher, Chris Brown, and Stevie J. Yeah, those are just a few people that got mentioned in his paperwork. So if you want to hear about it, make sure you tune in, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Now, we all knew that Cassie was not going to be the last person to file a complaint against P. Diddy. And it looks like another skeleton just fell out of P. Diddy's closet. But what makes this case so spicy is that the complainant is a man that says he has hundreds of hours of footage. So this man has receipts. He not only has texts and pictures, this man has videos, okay, of people engaging in sexual activities, trafficking, drugs, and more. So Mr. Jones is complaining that P. Diddy finessed him out of millions of dollars. Basically, Mr. Jones worked with P. Diddy on his album for 13 months from September 2022 all the way up to November 2023. So he created hella songs with P. Diddy, and 9 of those songs made it to the album. However, he was shortchanged because all P. Diddy gave him was $29,000. What a cheapskate, right? So basically, throughout this time, the man was trying to accommodate P. Diddy in whichever way that he could. P. Diddy was trying to coerce him to take drugs and to have sex with random women. And so maybe this guy did not think that was a big deal until P. Diddy introduced him to Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, this is where things take a turn. When he's introduced to Cuba Gooding Jr., P. Diddy tells him to make friends with him. However, when Cuba Gooding Jr. is alone in the studio room with Mr. Rodney Jones, he decides he wants to start caressing Mr. Jones' shoulders, rubbing and touching on his thighs and his legs, and try to move towards Mr. Jones' private. And Mr. Jones claims that he had to get physical with Mr. Cuba Gooding Jr. to get his hands off of him. Now, he also says that while he was working with P. Diddy, that Young Miami's cousin tried to push all up on him and tried to give him a BJ. So, he refused her. She got undressed, and then she called herself trying to screw him anyways in front of P. Diddy and P. Diddy's staff. So it just goes to show you what type of ritualistic behavior that these people engage in, and they think that that is just normal. Also, he tried to persuade Mr. Jones that homosexuality was a common practice in the industry. And he went as far as to send a videotape of Stevie J allegedly taking a Caucasian man to Pound Town. Okay, let's be clear. Now, to me, you guys, this just goes to prove to you that this Illuminati-ish is true. Because for P. Diddy to tell him that homosexuality is a common practice, is this not what we have been hearing, you guys? But moving forward. Anyways, so P. Diddy also allegedly must have given him a laced drink because he's saying that he passed out. And he's saying that when he recalls waking up, that he was in a bed with 2 females and P. Diddy. So, he says that this has happened actually more than once while he was with P. Diddy working on this project. Now, what makes things even more crazy is the fact that P. Diddy's son is in the paperwork. So, Mr. Rodney Jones is saying that Justin was slipping girl Mickey's and he was taking advantage of underage girls. So he is practicing in some of the same activities that P. Diddy is. You guys hit the like button because now we're about to get into the redacted names, and let's start with Meek. Meek Mills is in his paperwork. Like, We got to know. They're saying basically that he and these other celebrities that I'm about to mention were basically engaging in sexual activities with underage girls. Now, how we know that it's Meek is because they said a Philadelphia rapper that used to date Nicki Minaj. Now, he's a redacted name, but that's the footnote that they had. So who else could that be? Now, another person that they mentioned in this paperwork, they said that he was a Grammy winner, he performed at the Super Bowl, and that he lives in Las Vegas. Now, you guys know Usher just performed at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas on February the 11th. Okay, let's be clear. We all remember that Usher used to stay at P. Diddy's house and how basically P. Diddy groomed Usher into being his lover boy. You guys, it is just getting sick. Now we got to move over to CB. You guys, this one disappointed me because I knew Usher was a freak. But Chris Brown, now you could tell by looking at Chris that he looks like he does do drugs. No shade, let's be real. The footnote that they had for him is that they said that he is a Grammy winner who assaulted a Bajan billionaire. The Bajan billionaire is Rihanna. Hello. Yes, this is definitely Chris Brown, you guys. I was like, oh, and if you Google is Rihanna Bajan, you're going to see this pop up. Okay. So, yeah, there is no confusion. I am certain that these people are the redacted names. Now, let's move over to J-Lo. Her name is not redacted, meaning that her name is specifically listed in this paperwork, and it's being said that she was the person that passed P. Diddy the blicky when they were in that NY nightclub, and it was a shooting that occurred that landed Shine in jail for 10 years at a maximum security prison. P. Diddy is taking credit for that. We all knew Shine was the fall guy. We all knew that. So this just gives confirmation to that. You guys, P. Diddy is a sicko. And everybody around him has to engage in the same activities that he engages in. So that way he doesn't feel like he's vulnerable to exposure. This is what this is giving. P. Diddy is also supposed to be responsible for G's shooting, in which the LAPD was called, but P. Diddy was able to make a phone call to one of his buddies before they arrived. And when the LAPD got there, they act like they didn't even see the blood on the floor. This is what Mr. Jones is saying. He is saying that P. Diddy has protection and that he's crazy. And he knew that if he were to open his mouth while he was still around P. Diddy and not safe, that something could happen to him. So it looks like what Jaguar Wright had been saying all this time, child, she was not lying. P. Diddy definitely lets his hair down when he's at the crib. And because he feels like he got so much dirt on people and he got so many connections, he thinks he could just do whatever he wants to do. You guys, now he's going to end up having to settle because it's so many people in this paperwork that it's just going to make everybody look crazy. And I think that at this point, since the record labels are being brought into the equation, just like Cassie's lawsuit, this is all going to be swept underneath the rug. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And thanks for tuning in to Incredible Tea.